Yusuf Kobi, Director Relief and Rehabilitation, SEMA Bauchi.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Saliu Mustafa Bwala. I'm representing Director General of National Pension Commission. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, my name is Rabiu Ahmed Kamba from National Pension Commission. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members on the high table, my name is Paul Megida Chino. I'm the Director of Administration from State Emergency Management Agency, Taraba State. Good afternoon.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, good afternoon. My name is Mohammed Lamin, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Education, Yobe State, who is the leader of this delegation to this honorable committee. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, my name is Ahmed Mustafa Goneri, the State Attorney General, member of the delegation. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, my name is Alhajib Karadoda, member of delegation from Yobe State.
The chairman, other honorable members, my name is Musa Idi Jidawa, the permanent secretary, State Emergency Management Agency, Yobe State, and member of the delegation.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, my name is James Pisagi, JP, Secretary to the Government of Gombe State. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Dr. Dalami Arab Sukujay, Special Advisor on Emergency Matters and Executive Secretary, Gombe State Emergency Management Agency. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, honorable members. My name is Olabo Delatuji. I represent FRS.
Honorable Chairman, members of this distinguished committee, my name is Edward Ejembio Maga. I'm the legal advisor of Center for Social Justice, Equity and Transparency. I appear with 4 of my members here for the group.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, my names are Teve Ayua. I'm the head special projects. I'm representing Corporate Affairs Commission. Thank you.
Any other representation? Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, members, I'm representing Industrial Training Fund. My name's Gardam Simon Nengak.
Thank you. FRS, are they here?
Yes, Honorable Chairman.
Okay. FRS, then NSITF. Yeah, okay. And then the state from the northeast, we have Yobe, Gombe, Taraba, Bauchi, okay. Adama, Borno, Honorable Benjamin.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, our guest, I am Honorable Benjamin Yorembe Wayo. I represent the good people of Kwande Ushongo Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State, the food basket of the nation. Thank you.
The gentleman on the other side, I saw you trying to introduce yourself. Can you go ahead? The one, yeah.
Just myself, sir. even though we filed our memo just this afternoon, we have a memo that is so crucial that the House, if the House will even permit us to move it before we proceed.
Is it related to the investigation we are
investigation
carrying out?
that is going on? It goes to the root of the investigation itself. And if I'm kindly permitted, I'll just throw some light on the memo before we go further. Thank you.
Thank you. Distinguished honorable colleague, let me, on behalf of my very respected honorable colleague and the House, welcome you once again to this very important investigative hearing. You recall last week we adjourned to today to take some issues concerning the intervention in the Northeast and other related issues. Today, we are going to face the intervention, particularly the about 5.9 billion intervention for food intervention in the Northeast, and the 3.1 billion also intervention, food intervention in the Northeast. Let me also use this opportunity to call on my very humble media who has been covering these activities since we started this program. While acknowledging your reports, I always appeal that you should always report what you saw or what you hear from the activities of our committees. I want to use this medium to clarify that the National Assembly has no issue with any other person, particularly the issues I have observed in some of the national dailies, that the national captions that the National Assembly or the House is at war with the Vice President or the office of the Vice President. I feel very, let me not, I feel very uncomfortable with some of the comments from our national dailies. And it has become almost every day after our hearing, a lot of contrary information will be emanating from such media organizations. I appeal to the media to please always be part of these investigations, and the House, as I clearly stated in our last hearing, believe that we are working with the executive, we are on the same page, particularly on the issue that concerned fighting corruption, ensuring that value for money meant for the public is achieved. So while I appeal to my very honorable colleague, particularly, I know most of my honorable members are very unhappy with some captions of the national dailies, and some of them wanted to take up the matter this morning. We will not our mandate in ensuring that the aims and objectives of the hearing, particularly the referral to the committee, is attended. We'll start taking a submission from the Northeast before we now go to the other areas. And let me appeal to the states available here to please, in their submission, just go straight to the point and be brief. We'll give most of you time so that we can be able to manage our time successfully. Thank you. I will start by inviting, okay, I remember the last time we didn't conclude with Yobe. So I will give you 5 minutes to see if you can summarize your submission. then we take the next. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, we have finished with our submissions last Thursday. It is only the DG who denied our statement and is saying we are lying because we submitted.
If you have done your submission and you don't have anything to add, just adopt your submission.
It is the DG NEMA whom you asked to prove that he has supplied these things
The leader
to us.
of Yobe delegation, please, yes. You have adopted your submission.
We stand by our submission.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You don't have anything to add? Thank you.
We have no case to add or to subtract.
Bauchi, who is representative from Bauchi State? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Following the receipt of your second mail, in respect of this investigation, initially, during the first session, we made our own submission as far as
Clark,
Bauchi State is concerned.
Can you put him on note, please? Thank you. What you do to make it easy, take all the...
I, your names, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this honorable committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Sit down.
You can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bauchi State, we have already made our initial submissions as far as the distribution is concerned. In our first memo, okay. So I will just go straight to the second mail, which will make explanation of what we have already written. Definitely, NEMA were in Bauchi. They have come with their staff, with the material, and we witnessed they have did the distribution. On their arrival, the first team that came was led by one Malam Musa Zekari. I was called by Chief of Staff to sit with them and know their requirements, of which they said they need accommodation, warehouse, and a vehicle. So we wrote from SEMA to state government. They were supported with a vehicle, accommodation, and a warehouse. We expect, as usual, that they are going to work with our staff hand in hand, but they said no. That was what the team, during the second, because the first team that came left before the start of the enumeration even. So the second team came under one Mr. HK, who is an assistant director with NEMA, and he continued from where Malam Musa stopped. They went for enumeration. So we attach our staff to guide them and lead them to IDP's location. And we have also directed to ensure that we have seen the number of trucks. Definitely they brought 32 trucks to Bauchi of rice, maize, millets, and sorghum. Then soybeans. Cool.
Hello and a warm welcome to live broadcast of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network. This is the investigative hearing, the House of Representatives Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness, on the violation of public trust by the Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. We'll keep you updated as the program unfolds. My name is Ifeanyi Izumba. Thanks for joining us.
And in respect of a letter written to the state government, we make all effort to trace whether there is any communication to that effect. As mentioned in the second letter, we could not reach it. I was in the registry of the government house myself. For 2 days, we have checked all the registries. We could not lay hand on any communication in that respect. Well, summary, that is what we have written. Then observations. We feel, and as previously been practiced, whenever NEMA brought relief material, they'll bring it to state government. It will be handed over to state government, and state government will appoint a committee to make that distribution. But this time around, they have come with their store officer, they have come with all the staff that are responsible. We are not part of it, but our own is, we are directed by the state government to ensure that these items are distributed to the IDPs who follow them and see. I think our staff from SEMA and staff from Human Rights Commission, their representative, follow them throughout. So we feel Mr. Chairman, we feel there must be a synergy between the NEMA and the IDP and the state SEMAs in terms of distributions, because it's previously been done, and I don't think there is any problem encountered that will bring this situation that just happened recently. Then secondly, we also want to appeal that whenever...
You have to summarize your submissions.
Yeah, whenever
so your time is up.
Okay. So whenever they will provide relief, it should be within the time frame or the timeline. Because this time around, some of the things were kept and they were there for some time before they started the distributions. I think these are the major issues.
Thank you. My honorable colleague, let me also appeal that you just jot your questions while let's take all the state emergency management agency. Bauchi, but there's an observation that your copy is not signed. Your submission is not signed. Clerk. Yeah. This report. Taraba, go ahead.
Thank you.
So, honorable colleague, you can take note of your questions as soon as we finish taking the states, then we can now comment. Thank you.
The honorable chairman, sir, members of the committee, good afternoon, sir. I stand on behalf of my permanent secretary, Mr. Navagadan Habu, to present this report. following the letter you sent to us on investigative of public trust, violation of public trust. So our submission is like this. We want to inform the House or the committee that the State Emergency Management Agency, Taraba State, was involved in the planning to strategize and show the National Emergency Management Agency location of internet displaced persons in the state. You may also wish to know that we didn't receive any official correspondence as to the plan distribution. We got the information from one of the directors from NEMA, Mr. Kayode Fagbemi, who informed us of the plan distribution in the state. That was sometimes in June. And when we got the information, and he also told us that we should make our warehouse available to receive relief material that will be coming from the federal government. That all the states in the Northeast that were affected by this thing will benefit from the federal government gesture, that is the internet displaced persons. So when we got the information, we told him that our warehouse is full to capacity. Then there was no warehouse, but we are making arrangement to see His Excellency so that we can get a warehouse. Well on the process of trying to see His Excellency for the warehouse, he later called us that we should expedite action because the relief material will be received very soon. Well, on the process of getting the warehouse, then he called that we should look for warehouse, that NEMA is going to fuel the bill of the warehouse. So we went to Scott for warehouse. So we facilitated for them to get the warehouse. Then when the team for this thing came, we had the first meeting with them, that is the planning we had with them. They came for the mapping. First and foremost, they came and do the mapping to be able to know the IDPs in the state and also the capacity of STEMA staff and other others that will be able to assist. And later on, we had another meeting in preparation for the profiling of the IDP within the state. So when we had a meeting with them, we have already concluded the arrangement. Then we assigned some of our staff to follow them because the ESAS began in Jalingo, the headquarters of Taraba State. So we assigned some of our staff to go with them. They went around the distance to do the exercise. Then our staff we are only involved in 5 local governments when they follow them to those locations. But when they are carrying the exercise, the NEMA staff could not dispose the information, that is the token that we are giving. Our staff were not allowed to see whatever is within the distance. They were just doing it. And we don't even know the numbers of IDP in each location that were registered. They didn't bring it to our notice. So when we got the challenge, and other local government, the local government that are supposed to benefit from the exercise was not given to us. So when we had this, the complaint came to us, the permanent secretary had to summon a meeting. We asked them that we want to proportion, let us proportion the voucher so that we'll be able to know how many vouchers are being allocated to Taraba State and the numbers of grain. The grain that is brought to Taraba, nothing was disclosed to us. So when we had a meeting, the deputy director that came say he was going to make a document available. But as I speak to you, up to now, we are still waiting for the document. So I'm telling you that we have not received any document from them as to whether they were able to deliver the material, the grains that was meant for Taraba. It was not meant to, we have not received any document to that. They didn't give us.
Summarize your submission, please.
Okay, in the summary, sir, what I'm saying is that we couldn't involve fully in the exercise. In the distribution, Taraba, our staff were not part of it. Our staff only participated in 5 local government in the profiling, but the distribution, they did it by themselves. They carried the grains from the warehouse, which they have their stoppers there. We don't know how many quantity of relief material that was brought to Taraba State, as I speak to you, because we asked them to make the way bill available to us, which they couldn't make it available to us. That's my submission.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. There are other, we have also included in our report the meeting we had with the NEMA officials and also the complaint we received from the IDPs. That is what captured our report. We have some complaint which the IDP made in some area that we are not captured, in some other area that we are captured, we are giving relief material, and we are not giving transport to go to their location. All this is contained in our report. Thank you.
Thank you, Taraba. We will now have Gombe.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, in receipt of your correspondence to the Gombe State government concerning interventions from NEMA to IDPs in Gombe State, I wish to state categorically that Gombe State does not have IDP camps. I repeat, that Gombe State does not have IDP camps. What we have, we have a deliberate policy of integrating those who have moved from other states that are affected by the insurgency to be absorbed into the communities. This is premised on the fact.
Where is their submission?
Come and take, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, sir. As I said, we do not have IDP camps. Those who are affected by the insurgency activities have been absorbed into the host communities. That is one. Two, the state government never received correspondence from NEMA to state that certain interventions will be coming to the state government. My observation, even on that, would have been there should have been a synergy between the state government and NEMA so that we have critical needs assessments. You don't just bring millet and dump it on us. That may not be our priority. You do not bring zinc and dump it on us. That may not be our priority. While we are not in the war theater, our infrastructure has been overstretched because of influx of people from the neighborhood. We will tell you what we need most. Our hospitals are overstretched. Our schools are overstretched. And because we do not want to have IDP camps, because of stigmatization, we do not want somebody to say he grew up in a camp where he was stigmatized. You will be identified as somebody who grew in a camp, IDP camp. You know, in our social setup, what this means psychologically on those who are to be affected. And this, in the wisdom of our Governor, His Excellency, we refuse to accept, while we knew it was a common practice in the neighborhood of our states. When we got that, the Right Honorable Chairman, sir, when we got the correspondence from your office, I was able to make some in-house understandings with the Honorable Advisor in charge of SEMA, whether there has been any correspondence between NEMA office and his office. His reply to my letter is very, very revealing, and I think it is being circulated within the high table. I came along with him, Your Excellency, so that technically he can speak on behalf of the Gombe State government. But I want to emphasize, we do not have IDP camps in Gombe State. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Any other state? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable members, just like the Secretary of the Gombe State government has said, the letter you sent us was very specific, and we have given you a report that's also very specific. We have not received any food items from NEMA. NEMA may have gone to Gombe on their own, possibly because they have an office in Gombe. But Gombe State government has not received any items from NEMA in response to the letter you sent to us. Thank you very much.
Honorable colleagues, if there is no any other state, Yobe have adopted the submission of last week Thursday. So if there is no any other, I will now invite the DG to if he has any submission concerning the, if you have any submission concerning the state. Okay. So is that your submission, DG? You are adopting it?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is our submissions in respect of the distribution in the Northeast, in particular, Yobe State. And also other submissions that I applied for withdrawal was also pre-submitted. Mr. Chairman, I just want to make some preambles. I have all the leaders of that operation from each state, which they will, I will, with their kind permission, invite them to throw more light on their activities. This is a presidential intervention conceived in the office of the Vice President. Later on, he became the acting president. It was at the time that I took over. I was invited around on 26 May to join the team. A presidential committee was set up headed by the Vice President, and another subcommittee headed by the Minister of Budget and National Planning. I am very much aware, particularly Sema, Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa were invited at the inception of this program. They are part of the program development up to the approval. The input of where and how quantity of items to be taken to each local government were discussed. They supplied the information to the presidential committee. A memo was raised on behalf of the presidential committee to the acting president and was approved. It is a program developed, conceived, developed, and executed with the same as. Subsequently, they moved to
DG, you have adopted your submission.
Yes.
Concerning what the Northeast, particularly those Northeast states have presented. So you still have enough time when the honorable members are asking questions. So I will now allow honorable members to ask. Maybe they may have questions to those states, particularly in their submission.
So lastly, they are part of the program in its development and conclusion, and even execution. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Let me also need a little clarification from you, DG. You said that you joined the committee. Is it in your statement? You said when you came in, you joined the existing committee in the distributions. The said at
development of the program.
Okay.
Development of the program.
But these said items were procured during your tenure.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Honorable, let me start by our right, Honorable Yerima first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my distinguished colleagues and invited guest. I have a couple of questions to you in particular and the stakeholders too. That's the best submissions here. One of it is, you agree with your earlier submission last week that 5.8 billion was spent on food intervention, an additional 3-4 in one, about 10 billion was spent on that. And there is discrepancies related to your coordinating the whole process between you and the respective state governments, particularly Bauchi, where I came from, Yobe, my neighbor, and other states, that there was no correspondence between you and them. That's one. Therefore, you cannot substantiate the conduct of your distribution based on the fact that they were not part and parcel of the process, drilling from the tradition of the process. Do you agree with me or not?
DG, just take note of the question. It's just raising an observation. Honorable Ole. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, my fellow colleagues, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, you will recall at our last hearing, Yobe made a submission alleging that the position of NEMA is at variance with their own position. Similarly, we have submission from other state governments that I've listened to today. Yobe, Bauchi, Taraba, and Borno. Yeah, so, and Gombe. But, Mr. Speaker, I was going to ask our leaders from these various states if they ever attended any program, any events where NEMA officials featured, where items were distributed on camera and in picture. Is there any such events?
Use your mic when you're answering, please. And you introduce yourself before you answer, please. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, sir, honorable members, there was no occasion when we were invited in Yobe to witness any food item distribution by NEMA in Yobe State.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then let the other states.
Chairman, sir.
Gombe.
Mr. Chairman, ditto Gombe State to Yobe. Thank you.
Taraba.
Hello, Mr. Chairman, sir. There was no any occasion like that. We have never witnessed that, sir.
Bauchi.
There was no any formal invitation to that effect.
That means there is an informal.
No, there is no any.
Okay.
Yes.
Honorable Wole, okay. Go ahead.
Ask that question, sir, because we must all come to equity with cleaner hands. And this parliament is your parliament. Can you please let me avail the agenda, please? Perhaps if you have pictures of your officials that you could identify, maybe your local government chairperson, maybe the governor or his representative SSG, If there's anybody you can identify there, please.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I saw the pictures with the PAMSEC, SEMA, the SSG, the head of service, and so on. Let me ask the PAMSEC, SEMA to throw more light on these things, because it's not actual distribution, but that's pictures of people posing to take pictures with officials of the NEMA. So I don't know what actually transpired then, because I cannot see any food item being distributed in the office. PAMSEC, SEMA.
Go ahead. Let him.
The chairman, other distinguished members, let me go back a little bit to the line of history. That in this room, I think we are only two that attended the meeting with the vice president, who was then the acting president. We received an invitation from the office of the vice president then that we should come and attend a meeting, the three of us, Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno State, along with the DG NEMA, on a proposed federal government emergency food intervention in the Northeast. And that meeting, we are categorically told that so the meeting was specifically convened in order to address the integrity issue of Nigeria, whereby the international organization seems to have stolen all the credit as far as interventions were concerned. So it became a concern for all the states and then the federal government to sit down and see that the quantum of resources it has pumped into the intervention is being acknowledged by the international community. And that is where in that meeting, so in the meeting, we sat down and we were told that there was a proposal for the distribution of 3 items to the states. That is sorghum, maize, and soybeans, amounting to a total of 1,000 trucks. Out of those 1,000 trucks, 500 trucks were earmarked for Borno State, 200 trucks for Yobe, 200 trucks for Adamawa State, while a balance of 100 trucks for the other GTB states, that's Gombe, Taraba, and Bauchi. So there we were directed expressly that the state emergency management agencies, along with the NEMA, should go and sit down and come up with what it takes to have the distribution made hitch-free and in line with best international best practice.
SEMA, Yobe, the observations they are asking you is, your picture has appeared. Are you aware of this distribution?
Or does it relate to distribution of
Mr. Chairman, these pictures are not meant for distribution. And they have a relationship with what I'm saying, because that is what brought about the pictures. These are pictures that when the leader of the team went and said he is here on behalf of the federal government.
So you have not attended any distribution of this item, exercise?
None of my staff or neither. Nobody has attended.
Thank you, Honorable
Chairman, sir.
We'll round of discussion.
Sure.
Mike.
Hello? Let me see the picture. Which page is it? Let me see that.
Honorable Ujam, Dr. Ujam, thank you.
I know. So, okay.
Mr. Chairman, as far as we are concerned, in all these activities, the state government or SEMA Yobe was never involved. So we cannot say we have seen it or we witnessed it.
Dr. Ujam is on the floor, please.
Chairman, honorable colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to ask these questions. So I've listened patiently to the submissions of all the states. To the Bauchi state, you've submitted a letter. Orally, you've said nothing, there was no correspondence, no news from NEMA to you. But in your submission, you've clearly stated that a NEMA staff distributed some relief materials. So is it that you're not aware of the distribution, or that you're aware and you're not formally told? Let's understand that point. And then, hang on, please. I also have a document here that does say details of food procurement in respect of Northeast intervention. It lists 4 items, but in the breakdown of distribution, rice is curiously absent. You need to explain to us why rice is absent, because you confirm that you did receive some rice, and none of the states that claim to either be aware or not aware of distribution list rice in their distribution. So we need to understand how come the rice you received was not distributed and where it is at this point. This is to you, NEMA. NEMA, during your submission, you also said that you procured the items that were distributed. Sorry? You procured rice. Do you mind enlightening this committee on the procurement process for that rice?
Hold on, DG. Yeah, go ahead. Just take note of the questions.
Okay, thank you. Chairman, DG NEMA, please can you tell this sitting what the core mandate of NEMA is? And I want you to relate it to procurement and distribution of relief materials to the states. Your core mandate and how it relates to the distribution of materials, relief materials to the states.
Ibrahim Baba.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman. Mine is to the same Ayobe. PAMSEC, are you aware that NEMA has distributed any relief material in 2017 in Yobe State?
I'm not aware, but I'm aware of the program.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I will invite the DG to respond to the few questions so far, but before then, I will take the observation from Honorable Sharif.
Thank you, Chairman. My distinguished honorable colleagues, invited guests, my name is Mohammed Noor Sharif, representing the IDPs and the refugees of the most devastated local government by the insurgency in Nigeria, that is Bama, Ngala, Kalabalge. Mr. Chairman, my observation is on Bauchi State. I was just going through the food distribution in Bauchi State, locations and the food items. Number 2, if you can go back to that, I want to ask my colleagues from Bauchi State if you have a town called Borno in Bauchi State, please. A town called Borno in Bauchi State is under the food distribution in Bauchi State. Number 2 is called Borno. So, any Bauchi representative here? Do you have any town called Borno in Bauchi State, please? Because food has been distributed to that town. Thank you.
We don't have town Borno. Mr. Chairman, sir, I want to draw the attention of the panel in respect of Bauchi State submission.
Hold on.
No, sir, I'm coming. It's like there is a little mix-up somewhere.
You are asked a question.
I have
so
answered
respond
his
to
question.
the question. If you need another opportunity to clarify on your submission,
Okay.
you follow the normal channel, then we'll allow you to do that.
Okay, sir.
So go ahead, Honorable Sharif. Is that your observation? Then we can now invite the DG to respond to the few questions before I can now take my honorable colleague from the right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the first questions by the honorable member regarding same as not part of the process. This is what I explained earlier on, and the permanent secretary from Yobe State corroborated our position. Right from day one, they are part of the planning up to the approval of this program. And immediately after the approval, we moved to the site together with them. May I call the head of the team from Yobe to throw more light on these pictures and what transpired, just for a minute. That is, with your kind permission, Mr. Chairman, yes.
Well, okay, Honorable Yerim, his mic, my own.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I have to again reframe or recap what I asked you about. The question was, it seems there is no collaboration between your office and state governments, respectively Yobe, Bauchi, my state, and Taraba, regarding the distribution of Gombe State. There's no collaboration, and it's only under you, because based on the letter sent to the committee by the state government, it was an old tradition that you work together. You collaborate with the state governments in the process of your distribution and so on and so forth. But this time during your tenure, based on what they said, you have not done that. Am I right? So this has given kind of a loophole to hold you responsible for the failures, sir.
Mr. Chairman, there is perfect collaboration. The leader of the team, Minister of Budget and Minister of State Budget, we visited the state governors. Collaboration.
I'm just specific on that. The state government wrote and they explained there was no collaboration between you and them regarding your distribution. Is it right or wrong?
To the best of my understanding, there is a very good collaboration right from day one.
Are you saying they are lying in writing that there also collaboration, sir?
Honorable sir, it's not issue of someone telling lies. You see, someone could have, there could be communication gaps, like I said earlier on, or some other forms of understandings could not go well. But I assure you that I don't want to use the word lies because it's not, what I expect is the Vice President was the one who instructed to, no, okay, the Office of the Vice President instructed.
You are the manager, you are the one in charge. So you don't shift your responsibility on the Vice President or any other person. What I'm saying is, Bauchi State government, Gombe and Yobe, they all here in writing, they said there was no collaboration between you and them in the process of distributing all these interventions that you got. Are you denying that? It's a straightforward thing.
But Bauchi confirmed that our men were in the state government. They went with us. I'm not talking of his oral submissions. Clearly say that we work together. They follow us to ensure that the food gets to the right people. Yes.
Efforts were made to trace the NEMA letter to the Bauchi State government in respect to the food intervention, but we could not trace any. Do you confirm this from Bauchi, sir? Is your letter?
I'm sure that communication between the leader of the team.
Confirm.
The same question goes to Yobe and Gombe. You claim there was no collaboration between you and his office regarding distribution of the items. Am I right?
Right. Mr. Chairman, sir, you are right. Because let me read what you said in your letter to us, that NEMA has received 5,865,671,389.26 and 3,153,160 from the federal government. Then you ask the governor, the agency, while testifying before the committee, states that they have procured the necessary items and delivered same to the affected states. I write therefore to request Your Excellency to humbly direct relevant officers to avail the committee with the details of the materials received by your state. Copies of all communications with NEMA on the food intervention are expected to be forwarded to the committee. Mr. Chairman, sir, as we have said earlier, we have not received any communication from NEMA, nor any food item from NEMA as far as Yoruba State government is concerned. If they had even written to say, look, we are distributing food on so-so date to such communities, we would have come and witnessed it. But we have not received any such letter. That is what we are saying.
Let me, Yobe State government, let me still refer to your own submission. You clearly said that you have not witnessed any distributions of items, but as chief security officers of your own state, because you are representing your state, did you receive any report of item being distributed in any of the local governments?
I don't know of such because I am a member of the Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, and Resettlement Committee. It has never been brought to our notice of any food distribution in the state.
So you have not received any information concerning the distribution?
That is what we are saying. That is what we are saying, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I'm about to be done, sir. So let me round off, sir. So, okay. So I will wrap up this. Now you must agree with me, sir. There wasn't a good communication or a communication gap between you and the respective state governments regarding your program. You must accept that because we cannot all sit down here and they have a written submission regarding that they didn't witness. There wasn't even any correlation or any kind of relationship regarding all these programs. You must accept that because that's the bottom line. You have to take responsibility on that. If it's a slip of administrative procedures, at the same time, I think it's in order. We are not 100% perfect, but you must accept the truth and the fact there wasn't that. There was no program, there wasn't any communications, they could not trace your correspondences, and this is the beginning of the failure of the whole process. Am I right? Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman. Why?
Let us talk.
Yeah, DG.
Mr. Chairman, please, with your kind permission, let Mr. Onimode just throw more light on this because he is in a good position to say something. Onimode.
Clark. Clark, is he on oath or you want? Okay. He's under oath now. Okay. Put him.
Yes. Okay. I, Dr. Onimode Abdullah Bandele, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before this honorable committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Okay? The chairman, members of this committee, our fellow participants at this hearing. Let me place on record that my first contact with the Emergency Food Intervention Program in the Northeast was on the 3rd of June 2017, when I reported for duty in Maiduguri. I was part of the planning for the reception and kickoff of that program in Maiduguri, where the then acting president presided. And I remember very well that states of Borno, Yobe, Bauchi, I can remember, were well represented. I worked in Maiduguri precisely for 10 days when I got a call that I had been redeployed to Yobe State. And without wasting time, I handed over the operation in Borno to a colleague and departed. I've had good working relationship with Yobe State in years past. Immediately I picked my phone and called the pastor and said, "Pamsec, I've just been informed I'm coming to your state to work." I said, "See you when you arrive," on a personal ground. So I arrived. Incidentally, it was a Friday, and he himself is an executive IDP, meaning his family is not. No, sir, I need to tell you how I came about.
Sorry, our major concern here is there are questions raised.
Yes, the allegation that there was.
Hold on. There are questions raised by my very respected honorable colleague, who is the DG delegated you to answer. Here, we are listening to you, but we are hearing your voice. But the voice you are speaking is the DG's voice. Because the message here, we take your message as message from the Director General, because the committee recognized him. So any message you are giving, because he delegated you and the committee will adopt it as his own submission. So questions were asked. Go straight to answer the questions one by one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On the issue of correspondence, I was not given an official letter to resume in Yobe State. There was no official letter. But like I said,
so what it means is that you just walked into Yobe State.
Illegally.
You just went there on your own. No. As an official of government agency, you are reporting to a state and you don't have any paper, any document, any letter showing. No, there's no explanation you have told us. That is why I said you should. Thank you.
Excuse me, I told you.
Yeah, honorable colleague, has your questions been answered? DG.
Chairman.
Honorable Noor Sharif.
My question has not been answered. Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable Noor Sharif asked a question. So the question is not even related to Yobe. It's related to Bauchi.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, if you can give me the floor, please.
Okay.
DG.
Go ahead and repeat your question.
My question was that in your submission, food distribution in Bauchi State, you had a location which you have distributed food items. Number 2, which is Borno, and the Bauchi man confirmed to me that there is no town called Borno. How comes you distributed such item to Borno in Bauchi State? Number 1, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I represent Bama Ngala Kalabalge. Bama Ngala Kalabalge happened to be the most displaced people by the insurgency are from those areas. The largest camps in Borno are people from Bama, Ngala, and Kalabalge. Mr. DG, from your submission, I have not seen any food item or any other materials distributed to Bama, Ngala, or Kalabalge. Mr. DG, I want you to be aware, and I want this hall to be aware, the most devastated area are these 3 local governments before any other town or village or anything in Nigeria. Bama, Ngalakala, Bulge. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, Mr. DG, I want you to explain how no one single item has been distributed to those 3 local governments. Thank you.
DG, go ahead and answer.
So thank you very much. I believe that Borno is Borgu, not Borno. It's a mistake, it's a typographical error. And, okay, your second question as regard to Bama, and I can answer that. I say it's Borgu, I believe. It's Borgu. Is it it's an error. It's an error, please. Pardon? It's an error, I believe. Yes. So I'm not sure. It's Bogoro. Bogoro. It's Bogoro. Sorry. Yeah? Very sorry, please. It's Bogoro. So on the issue of Bama and other.
The DG, it means you have to rule that that particular document, they should delete Borno and put the correct name, because this is a documentary evidence before this committee. I so submit, Mr. Chairman.
In that document is Bogoro. Thank you very much. As regard to the
DG, hold on. Let me rule on that. But before I rule, let me also call your attention. You have to ensure that you scrutinize all your documents. Particularly, you have to work on the secretariat. It will not be a good idea for you to keep on withdrawing and changing your submission every day in the hearing. So I will now rule that the stated area be amended from Borno to Ogoro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can I answer the second question? When we arrive, all our operations in the Northeast, there is a specific understanding and rule that wherever other international partners are, we should not be there. And Burma and other places you mentioned are covered. I'm sorry for that. So this is the reason why Burma was not. But even with that, when there are special cases, we move. Like now, arrangement has been made for some items to be moved to Burma, if not tomorrow, next tomorrow, because of the movement. That is outside this. Is
DG, so there is no distribution in Burma?
No distribution, but
of
because
single items. Okay.
Because the WAP is providing it.
Honorable colleagues, we will take.
Chairman, observation, Chairman.
Yeah, a rider from
Mr.
Honorable
Chairman,
Kamali first. A rider from Honorable Kamali, then I will take Honorable Abdul Rahman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Mr. Chairman, I'm grateful for this opportunity to ask these questions. My name is Adamu D.U. Kamale. I represent Michika Madagali Federal Constituency. I'm from Adamawa State. And of course, Mr. Chairman, my constituency is the worst affected federal constituency in Adamawa State. People know its position as far as they relate with Borno. Mr. Chairman, I have 2 or 3 questions to ask. Which is a rider? Which is a rider?
You say a rider. Okay.
The first, Mr. Chairman, I want to ask the DG, which yardstick did he use that exempted Michika and Madagali from this distribution? That is 1. 2, I want to know the date, specific date of this distribution. Mr. Chairman, I have a question. I have a concern. The concern is the names of locations where these foods are distributed in Adamawa, namely Fofore, Malkoi, St. Teresa, and Mubi Transit Camp. Mr. Chairman, except from Malkoi camp, I don't think last year these other centers do exist, Mr. Chairman. I'm a living witness. Mr. Chairman, St. Teresa has not been a camp. It has never been a camp. But St. Teresa has been a point where well-wishers come to give food periodically to IDPs, especially the Catholic communities. So I don't think it is a camp. It has never been a camp. People doesn't stay there. In addition, Mr. Chairman, even the Mubi Transit Camp, I'm sure of it has never been a permanent camp. So except on the invitation of those who normally share food there, it is not a permanent structure. And beside that, Mr. Chairman, except for Molkoi, all these camps, they have been closed by last year, to my understanding. And Mr. Chairman, finally, this food, when they are given, Mr. Chairman, are they not received or acknowledgement by the management of these camps? They're supposed to acknowledge that so-so bags has come, and they're supposed to sign a document that they have received so-so, or they have distributed so-so amount of grains together with NEMA, because if we are distributing food here...
Honorable, you have to summarize.
Okay, if we are distributing food in this room, Mr. Chairman, one will expect the chairman will sign at least on behalf of all the members here. So I think documents should be given to this committee chairman showing the acknowledgement of these food items. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Abdurrahman.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. DG, you remember last year we had a meeting with the Vice President, the acting President then, at the instance of one of the senators from the Northeast. We had a meeting with you in which the Vice President directed then that anytime these distributions are being done, we should be informed so that we can nominate people to participate and report back to us that these distributions have taken place. And you told the acting president then that you have already written to us, but you have not, at that time, you have not written any letter to us nominating people. But when we came back, that was on Friday we had that meeting. On Monday, we got letters from you that we should nominate people from our constituencies to participate in this distribution. We wrote to you officially, I have my acknowledgement copy, nominating people to participate in this distribution. I can see that's all the 3 local governments in my constituencies. You said you have claimed you have distributed items there. Why? Adamawa State, yes. Why were we not contacted? Why were those people we nominated not contacted? And I have also the submission of Adamawa SEMA. You were there, you had a meeting, even courtesy visit to the governor with the minister for state planning. You requested for a warehouse, you requested for them to nominate staff, that you are going to compute their entitlements. You never came back to them. They gave you a warehouse, but regrettably, that is the summary of what the SEMA Adamawa is saying. Regrettably, despite all assurances to involve the Adamawa State government through SEMA, the agency was not involved in the activities of the committee. No record whatsoever about the items or quantities delivered in the state are known to SEMA. This is the summary from SEMA in Adamawa State. What I want to say is, if SEMA Adamawa is not involved, I, as the representative of the people in the National Assembly at the federal level, is not involved. I don't know about these distributions. And even in front of the acting president that time, I raised a question. I said, if you distribute any person going to Adamawa, going to my constituency to distribute 5 bags of rice, somebody will call me to tell me that so person, even an Igbo man, came from the east and is giving out 5 bags of rice in the state. But you refuse or you fail to, because our conclusion is that, yes, you involve states and other things up to the point, up to a particular point. But when it comes to point of delivery and distribution, these states and these stakeholders are not involved, so that they will not know what the quantity of what you are distributing. I think that is why the problem is. You involve them, you go and pay courtesy visit to the governor, you involve them, you plan with them, but when it comes to actual delivery and distribution, nobody in the state, no stakeholder is involved. If you go, you send NEMA staff from here to go and distribute food items in my own local government, how will I know that these items are distributed? If I'm not involved, I'm not aware, I have nominated people to be, I have given you their telephone numbers, they have not been contacted. The last time in 2016, before your tenure, the last time they distributed mess, if NEMA Adama is here, they should know, they distributed mess, they involve us. We nominated people who participated in the distribution of that mess, and it went to every ward in my 3 local governments. So I have seen no reason why you are all giving us all these things. Even in front of the acting president, you said you are giving 100 and something trucks. I said, wow, if it is 100 and something trucks, everybody in Adama State will get enough food to eat. Including, no, I don't need it. I'm not there. So, DG, why were our members not involved? We are representing the people. We have discussed with you. The acting president himself directed that we should be involved. And why have you failed to involve us and our own state governments in this distribution?
Thank you, Honorable Abraham. I will take Honorable EJ to be the last by the right first. Then when I come back, the second one.
Mr. Chairman and dear colleagues, I remain Honorable E.J. Agboanyima, representing the good people of Ego, Ipobaha Federal Constituency, Edo State, the heartbeat of the nation. Mr. DG, I want to ask you, I would like you to take note of all these questions I'm going to pose to you. Are you a Nigerian? Mr. DG, if you're a Nigerian, what state are you from? Mr. DG, have you visited any or all the IDPs camp across the country? If you have visited, how many have you visited?
Honorable colleague, let's restrict ourselves to the topic of discussion. We are talking about food intervention in the Northeast.
Mr. Chairman.
And by now, we need to round up the question.
Mr. Chairman, am I protected, Mr. Chairman?
You are protected, so
Thank
he
you very
should.
much. I am going somewhere,
somewhere,
Mr. Chairman. I am
Go
going
straight
somewhere.
to the point, please.
Thank you very much. Mr. DG, the reason I'm asking these questions, there's no Nigerians that have had the opportunity to visit the IDPs camp and see the lamentation. Children, men and women, instead of frustration because of abandonment. Mr. Chairman, you will have heard in this room where various citizens of this great country talking about issue of Bauchi, Bonu, Yobe. Their representative here are saying they have gotten nothing. Here we have, Mr. Chairman, dear colleagues, some directors, directors of NEMA suspended. And again, Mr. Chairman, dear colleagues, for me to sit down here and listen to the DG, it is a fortunate situation that he does not have the capability, the capacity to lead because somebody tried to derail the wheel of progress on Mr. President. And I want to challenge this House that
my honorable colleague, let me still insist, like what I said earlier. Our position here, the committee is still investigating, and every person here is a witness, and we expect everyone to give us all the information he knows. The committee has not inducted anyone. So everybody that is here is just under the committee. Members can ask questions, but please don't insist or clearly stated that the so-so person is under.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me round up, Mr. Chairman.
So please summarize your.
Thank you very much.
In 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much.
Question.
My dear colleagues and chairman and Nigerians watching today, this house is the last hope for ordinary Nigerians. Nigerians are suffering. The IDPs, I visited there with the honorable speakers. We went to various IDPs camps. I went with the speaker of this house, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara. There is no way, Mr. Chairman, anyone that will visit those sites and see those children will have the habit.
Go straight to question,
Sir,
please.
the food items that are supposed to go to these various states went to voicemail.
Thank you, Honorable.
Went to voicemail.
Thank you.
And the DG should be responsible. He must tell us the truth. What happened to those food items that never went to the family and the children of IDP? They are Nigerians.
Please, Honorable EJ, please. Let me take Honorable Cartoon first. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. DG, please, DG, can I have a look at the DG? I'm going to ask very straightforward questions. If you just take note, then you can respond to them as we move on. What is the approval limit of the DG in terms of expenditure? Then how many trucks of items did you receive in total for the Northeast from the intervention program? The total number of trucks. Then in your submissions, the documents you submitted, 2 contracts were awarded to Olam and 3 brothers, 2.4 billion and 600 million, totaling 3 billion. Where were these items delivered? The location where the items totaling 3 billion were delivered. Then there was another contract that you talked about at the last sitting for 5 billion. That was, items that were procured for 5 billion.
DG, you can now respond, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First of all, the issue of Madagali and Michika, they are covered by WFP, World Food Program. WFP, World Food Program. So we don't go where they are. On the issue of why members did not participate after receipt of the letters forwarding the names of these things. Some of the members, the moment we received the letter, we forwarded it to the head of each of the states and then called them. Some of the members really participate. Some of the members really participate. I can remember
in the Northeast.
In Potoskum, they work together with the representative of the members. I know that. Also, I think it's a senator, sorry, not member, because both house were asked to submit names. Also, I think Sidi Karsua, I think he also, and some few others, I can't remember the names, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Also, Senator Bukar, also all these people participate. And in Adama, I can't remember, but I know some of them really participate. Where there are many, so I cannot, if we check the record or we ask, we will know. But really some members, representative participated in the distribution. I'm very sure about that, yes. So,
yeah, go ahead to...
Yes. On the issue of, I'm a Nigerian from Ungru local government, Yobe State, and I visited many IDP camps. I visited even liberated area in the case of Borno several times. I visited even where you cannot go. We use Air Force planes to get to such places. Helicopters to use. On the issue of the approval limit, a normal procurement approval limit is 2.5 for supplies and services, whereas works is 5 million naira. Yes, less than 2.5 million, yes. As the case of Olam and Three Brothers, there was a declaration of possible starvation in the Northeast. Federal government set up a presidential committee that come up with the modalities of how to arrest the situation. And 5 billion is not money that was given to NEMA. Materials worth 5 billion was given to NEMA to distribute. As for the rice, it's 3.1. They were delivered in various warehouses across NEMA warehouses across the Northeast. Yes, it's in our submissions per state. They were at the preliminary sittings with the same as agreement was reached of how the distribution should be made. 50% to Borno, 20 to Adamawa, 20 to Yobe, and the remaining 10 was distributed between Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba equally. That's how it was distributed. Both the 5 billion worth items and the 3 billion or 3.1 billion.
DG, the 5 billion worth item, who procured it?
Well, we are asked to, like I said, it is a procurement. I mean, it was an understanding. I don't know how it goes, but CBN, Minister of Agriculture, I believe is from the,
do you have any communication concerning that?
No.
No communications?
No, we are only instructed to...
Who instructed you?
Of course, from the Vice President office where the committee
was... Is it verbal instructions or written instruction?
Well, there was a memo written to Minister of Agriculture, approval given, and then we are copied and we are asked to distribute that quantity of materials. That is how it happened.
We'll take one of our respected brother and son. Thank you.
DG, let me go back to some of the issues that have been raised, but which I don't think you have answered very, very clearly. You see, this is a public hearing meant to elicit the truth so that we satisfy not just the House, but Nigerians, to ensure that the mandate for which your agency was set up has been fully discharged. A colleague asked you to link your responses to the mandate of your agency. Let me start with reading out to you Section 6, sub K of the NEMA Act, and then ask my question. The NEMA Act, Section 6, subsection 1K says, the agency shall liaise with state emergency management committees established under Section 6 of this Act, 8 of this Act, to assess and monitor, where necessary, the distribution of relief materials to disaster victims. This is the Act establishing your agency. Now, we have listened with rapt attention to the submissions of various state governments who are denying outrightly that they have not received any relief material from NEMA. And you are saying you have submitted the relief materials to NEMA or that you have been liaising with the SEMA. Now, you have to answer squarely. What evidence do you have to prove that you have collaborated in line with this section with any state government or any state emergency management agency? That is one. Allied with that, there have been submissions here and there, like the question that the chairman asked you about who did the procurement of 5 billion naira. This committee would want you to avail us of the document, if any, that you have, that will show which are the contractors, or is it by direct procurement by the agency that procured those materials, and then the way bill to show in which stores those materials were received, so that we see who were those store officers that received those materials. Are they NEMA officers? Are they SEMA officers? Are they private individuals? It is those documents that will be able to satisfy us. Because this is a very serious public hearing. We can't just take oral testimony. It will not be sufficient. So we must see some documents, because this is government money. If government is spending millions and billions of naira to procure no materials, somebody who has been given those materials to receive them must be able to sign that I, Mr. So-so-so, received this material on so-so-so day, and then when it is even submitted, whether to the IDPs or to refugees or to somebody, again, somebody must have received them, so that we have to receive them. So I thought I should summarize this, because this is what will confirm or prove your position or that of the states that are denying before us. Thank you.
Thank you. DG, before you respond to him, let me also remind you have not concluded answers for Honorable Cartoon's questions. Yeah, he asked, okay.
Yes, I didn't quite get your answer on this approval limit. Can you please repeat it for the benefit of this meeting?
Thank you very much. My approval limit, like I just explained, for the services, it's less than 2.5 million. 2.5 million. For works, it's less than 5 million.
So what the board approval limit, the governing council, what is the approval limit for the governing council?
We had emergency and the need to procure that.
According to the Act, what is the approval limit of the governing council?
It was the acting president that approved it. I don't know what is its limit.
The DG, I said, according to the NEMA Act, NEMA has an existing governing council specified by the Act. You as a DG, you have an approval limit to procure items worth about 2.5 million, while the governing council, as specified in the Act, has its own approval limit. You may request the legal advisor to assist you with the relevant section in the Act. Thank you.
The limit set in the Act was for the DG. It's 30 million. But I consider Procurement Act to supersede this at this material time. So we are talking of Procurement Act and the threshold. And I just mentioned the threshold for services and that of works. This is exactly what it is. For the limit, because it's more than our limit, it was an emergency. We requested an approval from the acting president, and he graciously granted the approval, and we quickly commenced the procurement. Yes, we wrote to the BBC, yes.
Right there, please. Chairman. Chairman.
Clarification from
right down on the threshold. Okay.
Somebody show off his mic, please. Mr. Chairman, there's need to clarify, because I can see we're talking about 5 billion naira worth of procurement and other procurement undertaking by NEMA. So we need to get it very clearly Mr. DG, did you play any role, or what role did you play in the award of 5 billion naira contract for Northeast? What role did you or NEMA or your officials played?
The role is for only transportation and delivery of items worth 5 billion naira.
So if I hear you clearly, because I always like, because we love you, we like you. So that's why I like to ask very simple, explicit questions. In other words, you did not partake, you did not bid, you did not advertise, you have no role in the award of the 5 billion naira worth of contract.
Correct.
Your role ends at collection and delivery.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, sir, may I apply that the officials of Central Bank, Minister of Agriculture, and Minister of National Planning and Budget be invited to shed light on this matter, please. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, it's important to put a record straight that the threshold regime, you know, it's a function of regulation, the threshold regime. And I think the question my colleague was asking was the various, you know, strata of approval limits, which you talked about your own as the CEO, works, services. Then I think they were referring to parastatal. Your agency is like a parastatal under the federal government. So what is your approval limit at parastatal level, then at, of course, at ministerial level? We all know that at a certain level you have to approach the Federal Executive Council before you can procure. That is the question my colleague was asking. So you need to shed light your various threshold regime, and of course, you've also talked about emergency. So you need to clear that so that Nigerians are aware of what we are doing here. So, and this approval limit has nothing to do with the 5 billion naira released by CBN.
Mr. Chairman, let me clarify the little I know about the 5 billion naira. To the best of my understanding.
You say he has a rider.
Okay.
If it's related.
Once again, thank you very much. And here, according to the letter sent to us, I think by you, there is 2.4 billion naira worth of and 600 million naira letter contract awarded to Olam and Three Brothers. The letter did not specify where to deliver the items occurred. So how did that happen? I mean, when you awarded a contract, you specify delivery, terms and conditions and where. And there isn't that in the paper that you make payments on that. So that's the question, sir. The letter has not specified, I mean, the contract to Olam and Brothers, 2.4 billion and 600 million. The award letter did not specify where that these items be delivered. Yeah, the letter is here. You want to see it? Northeast where? In the Northeast. Because you have to point the point of delivery are received by whom? You understand what I mean? You read it, I have a copy. Just go ahead, read it.
It was from the farm and to the northeast. In the approvals, it was clearly stated that 50% to, no, the award letter is to the northeast. It's northeast that is written there. Right? I didn't understand the question.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you the letter to read it yourself because you did not specify where to be delivered.
I have explained in our first sitting that it only relates to the purchase of the product.
Yeah, just go ahead and read the letter for him.
Following the review of the quotation you submitted, I am directed to convey approval to your company to undertake the supply of 8,000 metric ton, in brackets 160,000 bags of 50 kg rice to the agency as follows. 160,000 bags at 15,000 amounting to 2.4 billion. You are therefore expected to indicate your acceptance immediately on the receipt of this letter. You are also to meet the agency's legal advisor to complete the contract agreement. Please note that this is an emergency assignment and should be treated as such. Please also note that payment will be based on the terms of the contract agreement and as per the extant regulations.
Did you award this contract? You awarded it. But you didn't point where to deliver the items.
I explained in the first sitting in this honorable house, this contract is only payment for the product in their farm. The act of transportation and delivery was given separately to transportation companies.
So you mean it's a direct purchase?
I don't understand really
Pardon?
how you relate to this contract.
Is it a direct purchase or a contract was awarded?
Direct labor.
You know, the presidential committee identified this farm.
DG.
Taken from your account, DG. And
Pardon?
you signed the contract, you on the contract.
Yes.
I think maybe I will give to a lawyer to take care of this question. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman.
DG, if you want to assist you, you can invite him, but he should not be distracting the sitting. Feel free, if you need somebody to help you in your team, you are free to invite him and we'll allow him to respond to the relevant questions. But it will not be allowed for him to be distracting you while you answer questions from members. Thank you. Let conclude.
The contract, yeah. When he was asked about awarding contract for 5 points, so he said he didn't award any contract. Here now we have documents showing that he awarded contract.
Honorable colleague, there are two different issues. The contract award of 2.4 billion and 600 million, 2.4 billion to Olam Nigerian Limited, 600 million to Three Brothers is a different, it's also part of the 3.1 billion that was released for the Northeast food intervention. The second issue DG was responding, there is also another about 5.9 billion that was also earmarked for the food intervention in the Northeast. So I think his question, his answers on the other one, it refers to the 5.9 billion, but he has admitted awarding the contract for the Olam 600 million and also Olam 2.4 billion, Three Brothers 600 million. So I think you not.
Yes, the award letter was written after securing approval from the acting president.
He just, the honorable member needs clarification whether are you the one that awarded the contract or not?
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. That's for Olam 2.4 billion and Three Brothers 600 million.
Were you the one that awarded the contract?
On approval of the actual. No, please, I am under oath, sir.
Mr. DG, when we say you, we do not mean, we are not referring to a large engineer, Mustafa Mehaja. We're not referring to you in person, but we are referring to DG NEMA as an institution, as an agency. And sir, Mr. DG, don't be scared, don't be worried about spending money, okay? As a matter of fact, when we enter recession, the government was encouraged that we should spend to exit recession. So please, we're ever comfortable when you spend money. It's when you spend money that our economy will be, will be empowered. So the question, simply put, is that 5.9 billion naira, according to you, was not awarded by NEMA, isn't it? But that the contract to Olam and to Three Brothers were awarded by NEMA under your leadership. That is a simple question my colleague asked. So we just want an answer, and I think we've dealt with this before, but you can still answer yes or no if it was awarded by you. It's as simple as that.
I think my explanations are very clear. There is a need to procure an item more than my limit. There was the need to procure an item more than my limit. As provided in the Act, once it is more than 30 million, we seek approval from the President. And we seek approval, and then we, yes.
DG, excuse me, sir. Sorry. When you go into other issues, it causes more problem for you, okay? I'm your brother. I owe you a duty of care to guide you, okay? This is very simple. There's no denials. You didn't deny. NEMA, yes, awarded a contract of 2.4 billion to Olam Nigeria Limited. Yes, NEMA awarded a contract of 600 million to Three Brothers Rice Limited. It's as simple as that. That's all, okay? So please, just confirm that we don't have to start. We all know that you cannot just dip your hand into the treasury. We're not naive that you cannot accept you prove otherwise that you did dip your hand into the treasury. We all know that you must probably have received orders or approvals before you can expose the nation to an expenditure of this sum.
This. Yeah, let me write this and you go ahead with the information. Who is Mr. Kayode here among your staff, among the directors? Why is Mr. Kayode here? I have a question specifically to Mr. Kayode. You are Director Procurement, isn't it? No. What director you are? Delivery. Relief. Were you part of the awarding the contract? We signed the contract. And you signed it?
Okay. I was mandated to sign the letter of contract. Oh my. The Director General of NEMA.
Okay, so the question here is, DG, Mr. Kayode is here saying that you directed him to sign the contract. At the same time, you are telling the House you did not have a mandate to sign any contract, or you didn't specifically award the contract. And now he says that he signed the contract on your behalf, based on your directive. So what's going on?
Information.
If really we need, I mean,
restrict yourself to information.
I really don't want to really press you on this. I just want to take these things down. I want to be out of here as you want to be out of here. But the bottom line is we have to have a good understanding on just be specific on the issues. That's what I want to hear from you. You understand, sir? Let's be specific on this, because there is no need for us to be really battling on this issue. It's a straightforward question. You say you had no mandate to, you didn't order the contract. Now he say you directed him to do it, to sign it on your behalf. From who you scared that program? So the acting president, but you said you are not being given the mandate to do that. But what you said was you are not approved to do it. You did not order the contract. That's what you said. I don't bloody care, sir, on who approves what. But the bottom line, you awarded the contract, sir. You approve the contract. Am I right? If you approve the contract, it means you are responsible for that. You, under the law, you have the mandate to do it. There's the act. Do I give you a copy? Go ahead.
The approval limit under normal circumstances, like I said, is less than 2.5 in the case of services and less than 5.
Is 30 million.
You understand?
The agency's approval limit is 30 million.
Not with the Procurement Act.
According to the National Emergency Management Act, the agency approval limit is specified there.
And if it is more than that, you seek
We are not
approval
talking
from the
about whether
President.
more than just
Yes.
the specification. That's what he wants.
This is what I am saying. Haven't gotten the approval to award that contract. We sign it.
Mr. Chairman.
Information. Then,
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, okay.
Thank you
Please,
very much.
information, please.
I remain Honorable E.J. Agboanyima, member representing the good people of Ego, Bubaha Federal Constituency, Edo State. Mr. Chairman and my dear colleagues, having heard from the DG and various leaders of thought from various states, their submission here today, Mr. Chairman, I want to move a motion, Mr. Chairman, with the submission so far presented before us. There's no way we can get the facts, the details, certain information if the DG still remain the DG. I think he should be placed on suspension while investigation is ongoing.
Honorable EJ.
So that I so submit. It's a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
it's a motion.
Honorable colleague, let me overrule my very respected honorable colleague, because that same motion was taken in our last sitting, which he was not around, and it was overruled. So his motion has been stepped down, overruled. Okay, overruled. Honorable
Chairman, somebody's here. What?
Waloke seconded. Mr. Chairman.
Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my fellow colleagues, I think there's need for us to make progress. Mr. Chairman. Umso, my brother. Umso. Yes, exactly. Mr. Chairman, my fellow colleagues, I invited guests. You will recall at our previous sitting, the qualification of the various contractors engaged were evaluated pursuant to provisions of Public Procurement Act. Mr. Chairman, and this honorable committee resolved that the officials of PENCAM, National Pension Commission, Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, Federal Inland Revenue Services, Industrial Training Fund, and BPP should cause appearance before this honorable committee to clarify their submission. You will recall that we also availed Mr. DG, a copy of correspondence that we received from NSITF is here. Beautiful. NSITF. Oh, how are you, sir? You're welcome, sir. Please, Mr. Clark, can you please avail my brother a copy of this? Let him confirm that.
But let him introduce himself and also take an oath. I think he came in late. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Should I vote? Okay. Good evening, Honorable Chairman and all the honorable members. My name is Jasper Azwatalam. I'm the Executive Director of Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. Jasper Azwatalam, Executive Director of Finance, Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. I'm representing the MD. Yeah. So,
has it been put on oath? Please put him on oath, please.
Yeah, Bible.
I,
I,
your name,
Mr. Jasper Azwatalam,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
before this honorable committee
shall be the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Confirm that your agency authored that document.
Can you adopt the document?
Can, sir. I adopt the document, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Ole.
Mr. Chairman, similarly, do we have officials of PENCOM here? Clerk.
Yeah, Clerk, can you put him on oath and also let him adopt the document as his own document?
I,
Salihu Mustafa Bwala,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
before this honorable committee
shall
be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Are you adopting this document as your submission?
Can I see a copy of the document?
Yeah. Clerk, show him the copy, please. PENCOM, yeah.
Yes, Honorable Chairman, this document is from my department, the National
Okay,
Pension Commission.
thank you.
Thank you.
The representative of PENCOM, please can you go through the document you authored that you gave this committee in evidence? Can you go through it page by page? And please confirm to this honorable committee that the document actually emanated from your office for avoidance of doubt.
Thank you, Chairman. The document before me, which emanated from my department, is addressed to the Honorable Chairman, House Committee on Emergency and Disaster Matters, National Assembly Complex, 3-Arm Zone, PMB 141, Garki, Abuja. Attention, Suleiman Mohammed, Sarki Noma, Committee Clerk. Dear Sir, re-invitation to a hearing on the need to investigate. But
Just confirm this.
oh, yes, well, there. Yes.
There are companies that you submitted that we value their details. Those companies were submitted to us by NEMA. NEMA claimed in their submission that they engaged those companies. The parliament is not a witch. We don't have any idea before, but those documents came from NEMA. And they told us that, yes, the company submitted their PENCOM compliance certificate, which is one of the prerequisites. And so we forwarded them to you to confirm. And now I want you to look at your submission and look at those companies that were not in your submission, that you wrote that you did not issue to them, and to confirm to this honorable committee. Those companies, I don't want to mention them myself. I want you to mention those companies that you wrote in your submission, that the certificate you issued to them, that they claim that they possess, were not issued by you. Please read out those companies that the certificates were not issued by you. Column B. Look at Columbisa.
Well, we thank you, Chairman and Honorable Member. We received a list of 286 companies from the Honorable Committee. We reviewed the list and observed that 20 companies had certificates in 2017 and 2018. Maybe I may not need to read through their names. We also have 58 companies that had either a certificate in 2017 or in 2018. Then we have about, just a minute, 208 companies that never had certificates. I'll read through the names if that's okay. Yeah. That. Well, the organizations that were not issued certificate in either 2017 or 2018 were Three Brothers Rice Mill Limited, AB Intel Limited,
Yes.
Yeah.
Good afternoon once again, Mr. Chairman.
NEMA is a quasi-judicial body. Here we listen to your submission. We listen to your submission, and at the end of the day, we'll go back into our recess and look at your submission, then, put up our report. And that's why we are cautioning you that you please tell us what you know in all sincerity, because these companies will also be invited. We don't like taking, serious corporate bodies we don't like taking them to the market square, okay? We would not want to erode the trust, the confidence that the members of the public have in these companies. And so, in your own submission, you've claimed that you were never issued compliance certificate. Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, I also want us to give, opportunity to this company to also come and present the certificate they presented to NEMA.